A very tough test, but how you wouldn't start it any other way. A top 10 battle to open up for the Florida Gators here at home. Stanford to serve first, and Catherine Plummer will get the honors. First serve is long.
That first serve, always a little adrenaline behind that.
Both of these teams coming in at 2-0. They were tested a couple of times over the weekend. Jenna Gray will push it outside to Megan McClure. Holly Carlton on the swing, and the first kill for the Gators.
I like the defensive play by Florida. Ready for that roll shot by Megan McClure. That's one of her best shots, but she needs to come out swinging before trying to establish that.
Thayer Hall, just a sophomore, played 6 rotations last season for Florida. She's doing it again for the Gators. Point for Florida. Back row attack.
Mary Wise talked about their serving needing to be better. They need to be aggressive, and this is a really good start for Florida.
Adriana Fitzmaurice. And the serve will go Stanford's way. First point for the Cardinal.
Number 12 in red. They call her Fitz, but she has been really pushing her offense. Quicker pace out to that right side antenna.
Morgan Hintz serving. Marley Monserrat will set up Paige Hammonds, and Hammonds had to carry a lot of the load last season. Thayer Hall missed several matches with a back injury, and they looked to Paige Hammonds to carry that load.
Well, it was 6 weeks. Paige Hammonds had to step in and play 6 rotations and really carry a huge offensive load, but I think that gave her a lot of confidence coming into this season.
Backside to Carlton. Goes long, no touch call.
For Florida, it's really important to pass the ball. If they can stay in system and use some pace to try and beat the block of Stanford, that will help them.
Monserrat quick to Darielle King.
Thayer Hall just nailed that pass, and that's why that offense for Florida was so good.
We've had played best 3 out of 5 sets. It is rally scoring, so you get a point on every play regardless. In the first 4 sets, we will play to 25 points. You do have to win by 2. Fitzmaurice, long. This Florida Gators team last season, 26-7 overall. They finished 3rd in the SEC, made it to the regional semifinal, but they had to play BYU there, and BYU was stacked last season, made it to the national semifinals.
Definitely, BYU was really strong last year, the one team that beat Stanford last year.
Point Stanford.
Sarame long on the serve.
Florida just graduated 2 players, Monserrat's sister, Ali Monserrat, and Taylor Kellum, one of the middle blockers.
Florida used both of the Monserrat sisters last year, but now this is the first time we're seeing Marley Monserrat run this offense, and Florida's back to the 5-1 this season.
And this is the first time she's run the 5-1 for Florida. So she's adjusting to that full-time setter role for Florida.
Just a sophomore. Monserrat hustles. Oh, Rachel Kramer read that like a book.
Rachel Kramer all over that defensive assignment. We saw that at the serve and pass. She is not surprised, but that attack shut down at the net for Florida.
2-time All-American, the tallest player in Florida Gator history at 6'8". Oh, and this time Jenna Gray will win the joust.
2 tied on the pass by Stanford, but Jenna Gray makes a heads-up play, wins the joust at the net.
Gator substitution, number 14, Allie Gregory.
Megan McClure steps back to serve. Paige Hammonds unloads. Great dig by Hintz. And Catherine Plummer tools the block.
Paige Hammonds had open net, isolated 1 blocker in front of her, but Morgan Hintz, unafraid, stands right in there, digs it, and Stanford able to come up with that kill.
Hence the two-time Pac-12 Libero of the Year. She's a two-time All-American wearing the white jersey for Stanford. You'll see her all over the court. One of the best liberos in the college game.
For sure. She has really nice court sense, but she covers a huge part of the court in serve receive and defensively for Stanford.
Stanford already with 3 service errors tonight. Plummer. Second kill on her second attempt by Catherine Plummer. Stanford's season last year was almost perfect. Just that one loss to BYU. They won their second national championship in 3 seasons.
And I always think those losses sometimes kind of keep you from getting lulled to sleep during an undefeated season. Sometimes those are important. And I'll tell you, Stanford came into the playoffs on fire.
And you look at the Stanford team, they've added more talent with the addition of Madeline Gates, who transferred in from UCLA. They have a freshman, Kendall Kipp, who we might see tonight too, who's outstanding. It was hard to think they could get better, but they might have gotten better this year.
Last year, the focus for Stanford was picking up their service game, and they were one of the best serving teams in the country. And when they serve well with their size at the net, they put a lot of pressure on the other team to side out.
On a 5-1 run right now with Sydney Wilson serving.
Holly Campbell all over that tight ball at the net. Coach Kevin Hamley calls Holly Campbell, she's just a sophomore, a special blocker. And when he says that about his team, she stands out.
Campbell has really benefited from the addition of Madeline Gates to their roster too. Coach Hamley told us that Gates has really forced Holly Campbell to up her game.
Well, I think having another high-level middle attacker in the gym really pushes you. Every day you have to compete against that other player.
Florida is going to call a timeout as Stanford trying to...
Helps that he's got 5 seniors on his team, and they have a lot of maturity. Plus, they know each other. They know the systems in place, and I think that makes for a much easier preseason.
Holly Campbell goes into the tape, and it never went over.
Kevin Hamley talked about Holly Campbell. Last year, she was mostly a defensive player, but this year had a great spring and really has emerged as a good offensive attack weapon from in front of the setter and behind.
She ended on such a high note, too, in that national championship match, a career-high 15 kills against Nebraska.
Fastball. I love that set to Catherine Plummer. The pace of that set really creates opportunities to attack through the block for Stanford.
Stanford has a new setting coach this year, too, and Alicia Glass-Childress, who has come in and joined the program. This is the 3rd setting coach for Jenna Gray throughout her career. Gray goes behind her to Fitzmaurice, and Thayer Hall, beautiful block.
Solo block by number 20 in white, Thayer Hall, the super sophomore for Florida. Great eye work defensively, and then the press over the net for the stuff block.
Here comes Marley Montserrat. Serves at Plummer. Plummer from the right pin. And it's going to be a point, Florida. Back row attack called on Stanford.
Florida doing a good job getting Stanford out of system, and that allows them to put themselves in a position to score. Florida doing a nice job defensively blocking at the net as well, closing up the block.
Montserrat, Holly Carlton.
Holly Carlton in transition, the 6'7" lefty gets a nice defensive block and then transitions right through the seam of the block. Holly Campbell late to close that block for Stanford.
Gators on a 4-1 run. And they just keep going at Catherine Plummer. Great swing from Campbell.
Jenna Gray pushing that set, even though the pass was a little bit off the net. She feels more confident this season, pushing Holly Campbell in front of the setter.
Plummer. Darielle King.
Starts with a good pass. If Florida can stay in system and use all their weapons, Darielle King can get kills like this. Heater right at Morgan Hent's head.
Just 10 appearances last season for Darielle King, but she has put in the work, and now they're just trying to get her some more live game action. She's getting it here.
Megan McClure, smart swing out of bounds off the hands of the blockers for Florida. Megan McClure has really done a great job managing her offense. She's low air. She's not the biggest player on the court, but she does a really good job taking smart swings for Stanford.
Great off, and it goes out. Paige Hammonds on the extra effort.
The attack was wide.
Paige Hammond's right idea to throw that back down. Really aggressive move, but just out of bounds for Florida.
Serve for Morgan Hentz is long. That's the 4th service error for Stanford in the first set.
Paula Sarame to serve.
Again, playing to 25, you have to win by 2. This is Paula Sarame. Paige Hammonds off the block.
High volleyball IQ play right there by Paige Hammond. She had a huge block in front of her and goes high off the hands, out of the reach of the Stanford defense.
Ties it up for the 5th time in this opening set. Holly Carlson did not play very well in their first 2 games of the season. She's turned it on tonight.
Already 3 kills, going up high inside the block of Holly Campbell. Nice little touch almost by Jenna Gray, but Stanford cannot come up with it.
Carlton started her collegiate career at North Carolina, where she hit and set for the Tar Heels. She has that capability. She's been setting longer than she's been hitting.
Jenna Gray to Madeline Gates in the middle. Prior to that last play, I think Jenna Gray's setting Madeline Gates too low. She needs to push that high attack point that Madeline Gates can use because she's so long offensively.
Gates, number 15 in the Cardinal jersey. The transfer coming in from UCLA, graduated early to come play with Stanford. Kevin Hambley didn't know until about end of March, beginning of April, that she had gotten into Stanford on her own, and could she come play volleyball? Well, yes.
Yes, please. Another All-American on the roster.
Gates on the slide.
There's the cannon out of the back row. Catherine Plummer just gets Stanford out of trouble. Pushes that ball a little bit into the gap, and Catherine Plummer has room to attack.
Tied up for the 7th time. Plummer nails one to Thayer Hall.
One of the things that I see Florida doing really well is attacking the inside hand of the inside blocker, and it's working really well. You see it go off the left hand of Madeline Gates, dropping sharp.
Fifth kill for Catherine Plummer. That's her 5th.
The first set is close, and you know who they're going to go to when they need kills, and that's number 2, Catherine Plummer.
Plummer with over 500 kills the last 2 seasons for Stanford. This is Sydney Wilson. Monterey didn't have much choice with that one. Oh, Allie Gregory laid out for it.
Starting with the Allie Gregory dig and a huge defensive block to follow. Look at the dig to keep it alive, and then the free ball out to Plummer, and Rachel Kramer shuts the door, closing down that seam for Florida.
The current SEC Defensive Player of the Week, Rachel Kramer. Championship match.
And some of these players remember the last time they matched up against Stanford just 2 years ago and came out victorious. They believe they can win. How about Jenna Gray pushing the pace? That ball passed way off the net, but Gray able to push that pace fast to Plummer for the kill.
Six kills for Catherine Plummer. And now they've got 3 attacking options in the front row as Jenna Gray rotates back. Plummer.
Great isolation set, one-on-one. Catherine Plummer's going to win that most of the time. Look at this fastball out. Daryl King just looking at that one in the middle. Could not get outside.
20 all. Paula Sarame has to dive for it, and it goes out. Stanford ahead 21-20. Going to 25. Have to win by 2.
Jenna Gray, a 3-time All-American javelin thrower, really using her arm from the service line, doing a much better job for Stanford.
To Plummer. Through the block goes Catherine Plummer.
The ball is coming so fast. Catherine Plummer gets on that ball. If the Florida block is late on their press, it gets on the Florida side of the net. Stanford kill.
4-0 run for Stanford here, 3 points away from taking in the upset of Washington. So pretty impressive start. You got to watch out for Hawaii, but these 2 teams ranked in the top 10 as well. Stanford starting the season for the 2nd year in a row as number 1. They haven't dropped a set yet this season.
Stanford right now hitting 200 as a team compared to .087 for Florida offensively.
Cardinal on a 4-0 run. Catherine Plummer has had 3 kills during that run. Of course she has. She's the 2-time National Player of the Year. And that's the first kill for Thayer Hall. You see they've put Holly Carlton into set.
Thayer Hall high off the hands, again attacking that inside hand of the middle blocker, and it pays off for Florida getting that side out.
So Marley Monserrat comes back in, serving now for Florida.
Catherine Plummer, she is the hot hand. When Stanford needs points, when a set is tight, they will go to number 2.
Plummer spent the summer playing with the U.S. national team in the Pan Am Games. Actually played opposite there for the national team. Hall. Hey, great setup from Catherine Plummer.
Well, I was going to follow up with that. So Catherine Plummer, when she was in high school, she was only 6'3", and she was the #1 setter in the country. And then she kept growing, and they turned her into a hitter. So she's got beautiful hands, and she started as the setter, then to a right-sider, and now she's a left-sider, All-American.
Set point for Stanford. And the serve is long. Still set point for Stanford. 5 service errors for the Cardinal in the opening set.
I think that's okay. I think there's nerves. This is a big match. Great crowd here in Florida. They want to come out strong from the service line. If they can balance that out with a few more aces, they'll be happy with it.
And a service error is going to hand the first set to Stanford, 25-22. Top 10 battle, not disappointing so far. Over their career. 2 national championships also. Just throw that in there.
Yeah, all impact players, all mature beyond their years, and they just keep getting better. So they're a special group. Obviously amazing chemistry. They know each other really well on and off the court.
One of the benefits they have is because they won the national championship as freshmen, they know what it's like to come back the next season with those expectations. And now instead of handling them as sophomores, they get to handle those expectations as seniors, having won last year.
Yeah, there's something about your senior year, your last go-around, your last chance with this special group of players. You really want to go out on a high note.
Stanford took the first set, 25-22. Florida will serve first, and they've moved Allie Gregory into the libero jersey for this set. Paula Sarame got the start as libero.
Good defensive play, and then Holly Campbell sees the opening, throws it down in the middle, number 3 in red.
Campbell with her 3rd kill of the night. Here comes Morgan Hentz. Monserrat behind her to Holly Carlton. Beautiful roll shot from Megan McClure.
Another assist by Catherine Plummer with those beautiful hands, but Megan McClure works so hard on her offense. She's got a beautiful roll shot that drops in the middle of the court often for her.
A 6-foot junior, she looks short out there compared to all the other players on Stanford's roster. Monserrat will bump set Carlton. Cross court.
Holly Carlton gets her 5th kill. Doing a really good job attacking at that right back position where the setter's supposed to play defense. So even if they do dig it, the setter is taken out of that second contact in transition.
Monserrat pushes it out to Paige Hammonds. Gray to Catherine Plummer, gets some help from the tape.
Jenna Gray, the senior setter for Stanford, she tried right side, left side, a little middle, and then goes back row to Plummer to finish it off.
Catherine Plummer in double digits now, 10 kills on the night.
Florida in a rotation where they've got a front row setter. Only 2 attackers in the front row. Rachel Kramer.
They run Kramer on the slide, and it comes back over the net, but does drop in.
Off of Megan McClure's head. Rachel Kramer has the size advantage. Watch it go right off the face head of Megan McClure and drop in.
Kate Formico here. They try Kramer again, this time into the tape.
That time I would have gone fast out to Paige Hammonds. But Megan McClure again in a good defensive blocking position. That's an area she's really worked hard for. She's only 6 foot. To be in that Stanford lineup, you have to be a strong blocker, and she's done a good job working at that.
3-0 run for the Cardinal. To the back row and Thayer Hall. Madeline Gates on the slide. They call into the net on Florida, point for Stanford.
Point Stanford.
I'd love to see Florida go fastball out to Paige Hammonds, attack Jenna Gray. She's one of the other small blockers on the court for Stanford.
Mary Wise is talking to our down official, Margie Ray. And there's going to be a done with a 3-2 win, would push them to the national championship match. This is the 12th overall meeting between these two programs. Stanford leads the series, but just by 1 win. 7 of these Florida players were on that roster when they played Stanford back in 2017. Rachel Kramer was one of those. She had 8 kills and 5 blocks in that game. Plummer. And Stanford is really taking advantage of this rotation that Florida is stuck in.
Yeah, it's a tough rotation when you've only got 2 hitters. And then Catherine Plummer, nice lead by Jenna Gray to put Plummer in a good position to attack out of the back row.
6-0 run. Monserrat to Hammonds. Madeline Gates on the slide, and it's blocked.
Madeline Gates makes very few errors, but Paige Hammonds, number 7 into the net. Madeline Gates gets the easy kill for Stanford.
Hammonds sets it over. Gates on the slide, it's long. Point Florida.
Back-to-back errors for Madeline Gates, and she's had 4 errors the entire preseason.
Came into this match hitting .593 through their first 2 matches of the season. This is Chanel Hargraves.
Sometimes it takes time to develop that chemistry between a setter and a new middle attacker. Madeline Gates and Jenna Gray are new working together. Yes, they've had this preseason, but it hasn't been that long.
It's a whole new system that Madeline Gates has to learn. She played 3 years at UCLA, graduated, and then transferred to Stanford to play her final season. An All-American at UCLA. Teams will trade service errors.
Back in for the Gators, number 40, Holly Carlton. Marley Monserrat to serve.
Holly Campbell wide.
Yeah, good pass by Stanford, able to run what they want to run. Just hit wide out of bounds by Holly Campbell.
Monserrat to serve again. And when they need a kill, they go to Catherine Plummer, who has 12 of them.
Catherine Plummer, it's just like a cannon coming off her hand, attacking fast through the seam. And the pace of the set to her really puts so much pressure on the opponents.
12 kills, just 1 error for Catherine Plummer. Jenna Gray. Carlton, it was low, hit it into the net.
Holly Carlton off to a good start so far for Florida. That's one of her first errors. She's been very effective offensively.
Jenna Gray to Fitzmaurice, a really tight set. Plummer long.
Catherine Plummer looking for a touch, does not get one. First set by Jenna Gray to Fitzmaurice. A little bit too low and tight.
Thayer Hall back to serve for the Gators. And the swing from the middle comes through. Holly Campbell.
That's an area of Holly Campbell's game that's really gotten better. She was very comfortable going off 1 foot behind the setter, but this year really focused on staying in front of the setter and being an effective attacker for Stanford. Service errors racking up for Stanford.
That's their 7th.
And we're only a set and a half in.
It's their really their first test this season, facing a top 10 team.
Exactly, and you know, I think nerves are a factor. There's a fantastic crowd here for the other team. It's a big stage. This is what you want, though. Even though you're not playing your best volleyball, you want to be pushed, you want to be tested.
Stanford doesn't shy away from any type of tough competition. They want to face the toughest teams they can, teams that they might face in the postseason right now in the non-conference portion of the schedule. McClure goes after it. Montserrat to Carlton. Plummer launches one at Allie Gregory. And this Stanford schedule is so tough coming up. It starts with number 7 Florida, but then they go Texas, Penn State, Minnesota, Nebraska, BYU. And Kevin Hambley told us he was upset because Wisconsin wasn't on here.
Yeah, he was really excited about this challenging preseason. He thought it was going to be a great test to learn about how they could get better during the season.
It helps the team. It's going to help their RPI. Gates into the net. Point Florida.
Jenna Gray trying to work that connection with Madeline Gates in the middle. It's not there yet, but I like her pushing it when the game's on the line.
Here comes Holly Carlton. Service error.
Service error.
4th service error for Florida.
Stanford known to be one of the tougher serving teams, so 7 errors isn't a big deal if you've got some aces to balance it out, but it's early in the match to have that many.
Kate Formico comes in to serve for Stanford. Got just 1 ace for the Cardinal. Kramer is blocked. McClure there.
That's Megan McClure's 3rd block on Rachel Kramer. Rachel Kramer thinks Megan McClure is undersized, but she's going to need to work that higher attack point to get it around McClure for Stanford.
That was an area that Megan McClure really went to this summer to work on, was her blocking. And she's just someone that's going to work so hard because she wants to be as good as she can.
Change of pace out of the back row. Catherine Plummer, just so good. Her volleyball IQ never ceases to amaze me. I mean, just the change of pace gets her feet to the ball, and the way she moves for someone who's 6'6". She's strong, skilled, and smart.
And she's so even-keeled, too. There's never, like, an urgency. I mean, she's always that same Catherine Plummer.
Yep. I've seen her get pretty fired up.
Yeah. 14 kills, just 2 errors, hitting .667.
Service error.
Service error number 5 for Florida. This has been a tough second set for the Gators. They're hitting -154.
Here's a tough rotation for Florida again. Montserrat, number 21, is the setter in the front row. 2-hitter option, but Thayer Hall is one of them.
They go to Hall. McClure saves it. Quick set to Gates.
I like that by Jenna Gray, pushing that connection with Gates in transition, able to get her a kill.
5-1 run for Stanford. We are going to 25 points again, have to win by 2. Kramer on the slide, and it's wide. They've had a lot of problems running that.
Yeah, they have not been successful. I would run Rachel Kramer in front, do something else to create some space away from that run.
Based on location a lot of times. Hello, Thayer Hall.
Welcome to the match, Thayer Hall. Florida needs a lot more of that, but it started because the pass was perfect. Monserrat gets her some pace out to the antenna, opening up the net to work on.
She's had double-doubles in their first 2 matches. Only 2 kills tonight for Thayer Hall. Gates, dug up by Hargraves. Hall again!
She has arrived, and Florida needs her. Back-to-back kills by number 20 in white, Thayer Hall. Cross court at Morgan Hentz, too much heat.
Florida still in a hole. Stanford up 20-12 here in the second set. And Catherine Plummer goes to work, kill number 15.
Stanford passing the ball well, and Jenna Gray pushing that pace offensively. That's another area. Every season they've gotten a little faster with their offense.
Playing to 25, you have to win by 2. You got to go back to Hall. Plummer! That was even harder than the last swing.
I love that angle. They gave it to her, and she took it. Defensive player steps in, but this ball is sharper inside that left front defensive player. Wow, with power.
Plummer has 16 kills. The rest of the team has 12.
The attack was long.
Stanford serving the ball well right now, on a run, getting Florida out of system, putting a lot of pressure on Thayer Hall. Now Thayer Hall and Lauren Dooley are the 2 offensive options out of the front row for Florida.
They go to Holly Carlton.
Good decision using that back row attack. Holly Carlton has been the hot hitter for Florida so far. That's her 6th kill on 13 swings.
I'd love to see that. Just 9 kills through their first 2 matches, and here she is with 6 already. Jenna Gray dumps it. Florida saves it. Gray goes again. And it hits the antenna. Point Florida.
Jenna Gray back-to-back dump attacks. Florida picks them up, and that one set 2 wide for Plummer.
Plummer, sharp cross court and wide.
That ball was passed off the net, but Jenna Gray pushing the pace, and then Plummer, who hit a very sharp angle recently, misses that one wide.
First 3-0 run for the Gators in this set. Raises the tape, but makes it through. Holly Campbell, beautiful off of 1 foot. And that brings up set point for Stanford.
Holly Campbell very comfortable off 1 foot, 1-on-1 against Thayer Hall. Gets her 5th kill.
Stanford took the first set 25-22. Hall keeps this thing going.
4th kill for Thayer Hall. Lighten it up for Florida. They're really forcing her to attack that line, but she's taken it.
Now she's going to serve. Set point Stanford.
Isolated set to Holly Campbell in the middle, hitting that long. But the first contact for Stanford has been very consistent for the most part. Jenna Gray has lots of offensive options.
Paula Sarame comes in to serve. Third set point for Stanford. Service error. Both sets have gone to Stanford due to a service error.
I know you cannot.
Set matches in both of those, but Tennessee lost both of them.
Lots of teams are scheduling really tough to up those RPI numbers to help them get into the NCAA tournament at the end of the season.
Florida opened with Louisville and Dayton. Stanford has been on the road for a while. They opened with the College of Charleston and then Duke. They've been on the road since last Tuesday, and they're going to actually practice in the gym here tomorrow morning before they fly back home. They don't start class until September 23rd. Stanford is up 2-0 over Florida. A win in this set would put them at 3-0 on the season. There's Thayer Hall getting going.
Well, I think that was one of the bright spots in the second set for Florida, was the arrival of Thayer Hall being an offensive threat, getting multiple kills for the Gators.
Marley Monserrat back to Carlton. They'll do it again. This time, Holly Carlton gets through.
7th kill for number 40 in white. The 6'7" lefty has been very successful tonight, hitting most of her balls cross court. Stanford keeps it alive on the first play, but not the second.
Gray with a quick set in the middle to Holly Campbell.
Holly Campbell again in front of the setter. That's a set and offensive attack that she's been working on since the spring.
It's so nice to see her playing so well. Of course, Stanford returns 5 starters plus their libero. They lost Tammy Alade, who was one of their middles.
Carlton again with a cross-court kill, attacking in between the setter and the other defensive player. Very successful so far for Florida.
Allie Gregory's serve is wide. 7th service error for Florida.
Back in for the Cardinal, number 11, Kate Formico. She'll serve.
Serena Hammonds through the block.
Well, Paige Hammonds got rewarded for that perfect pass. Marley Monserrat, isolation set out, only one blocker in front. Really nice kill by number 7 in white.
Hammonds was recruited for that, for her arm, and it was a bonus when she got here as a freshman. They realized what a great passer she is. There goes Rachel Kramer in the middle.
How about Holly Carlton getting it done from the service line as well, helping her team score points.
First kill for Kramer. To the back row, and Carlton is long.
That ball came a little too far deep, in my opinion, for a back row attack. You want to lead that back row hitter towards the net.
Stanford down 2. Paige Hammonds, all right. All right.
Riley Fisher in there to pass the ball. Starts it off right for Florida. Great pass, and then Paige Hammonds back-to-back kills.
Hammonds 5 kills, 4 digs. Oh, it was tight, but Jenna Gray handled it beautifully to get it to Catherine Plummer.
Jenna Gray, 6 feet tall, can attack at the net, but this is a rotation where she's in the front row, so just 2 hitters, Catherine Plummer and Holly Campbell.
Wow, Plummer.
Sydney Wilson, how about that dig? That was a self-defense, put your hands over your head, and it popped up perfectly by number 21, Sydney Wilson. She's just been a serving sub the last couple of years for Stanford, but just came up with a huge dig.
A junior out of Ontario. Hammond's off the block. Back to Campbell.
Pretty kill in the cross-court, number 3 in red, Holly Campbell. Lots of power, and what an angle in transition. Look how sharp this ball is in front of Riley Fisher.
Tied up at 6. Holly Campbell has 7 kills in the match.
I mean, we've said it all, but Catherine Plummer continues to impress. She looks so smooth. Her step close to the ball, it looks effortless, but the ball off her hand comes off so fast.
4-0 run for Stanford. Plummer is now at 19 kills. And Thayer Hall will answer.
Number 20 in white, Thayer Hall gets her 6th kill, trying to get things going for Florida.
It really pays off when you have the opportunity to sit back and rest, and that's what Thayer Hall had to do. From January to May, she was completely shut down to heal her back injury, and it's made all the difference when you're not playing in pain.
Well, Coach Mary Weiss says, hey, this is a great learning opportunity to reset and learn from watching, learn and make all the other skills better, and that's what Thayer Hall has done.
Plummer is long.
The attack was long.
Plummer trying to turn that ball down the line, just missing long. Good push across the court by Jenna Gray. Chanel Hargreaves all over that for Florida.
Plummer's still hitting .519.
She's having herself quite a night.
Ooh, pokes it through the block of Hall.
Thayer Hall just a little bit late on her block press, and that's why that ball was able to get pushed through her block.
Florida must win this set to extend the match. Down 2-0.
This is the rotation where they used Holly Carlton out of the back row. She is not on the court, so it's a 2-hitter option for Florida. Dooley or Hall.
They push it to Hall. Saved by Hentz.
Adriana Fitzmaurice ends that rally. We haven't been talking about Fitzmaurice in a long time. That's her 2nd kill of the match, having a quiet night.
Yeah, 2nd kill, hitting 0. Just 1 dig for Fitzmaurice. Great pass from Hammonds, and that sets it up. Thayer Hall to the back corner.
Everybody knew it was going to Thayer Hall on that play, and they still couldn't stop her. Pretty kill by number 20 in white.
Thayer Hall was the National Freshman of the Year, or excuse me, National Player of the Year before she got to Florida. Was asked to do a lot last year as a freshman 6 rotation player. Swing into the net by Campbell.
That set looks 3-4 inches low for Holly Campbell. It's hard for her to get on top of. Florida up by 1.
Plummer tools the block. 20 kills now for Catherine Plummer.
20 kills on 29 swings.
Holly Carlton.
9th hot hitter all night consistently from the right side. Holly Campbell, the middle blocker for Stanford, a little bit late closing. And Holly Carlton for Florida, able to score.
It's an ace for Thayer Hall.
Florida's definitely been able to get Stanford out of system. That one, Florida going right at Megan McClure.
Gators up by 2, and remember, even though it's a short season, they've been fresh into the season. They've been in this situation before, down 0-2. They were able to come back and get the win against Dayton after dropping the first 2 sets.
Good set out of the back row, and Megan McClure able to score on a tough position on the left side. Triple block for Stanford, waiting there for Thayer Hall out of the back row, but that ball doesn't get past the net. This is the respect that Stanford has for Thayer Hall out of the back row. Fitzmaurice, Gates, and McClure waiting at the net.
Oh, Madeline Gates all over it.
Point to Stanford.
Service pressure by Morgan Hens creates that easy scoring opportunity for Gates at the net.
3-point run for Stanford. Fitzmaurice. Again to Adriana Fitzmaurice. Hall with the tip in the back row. Longest rally we've seen, and it ends thanks to Catherine Plummer.
I like the patience by Stanford. Some tight sets, they're able to use it in the block, try again, and then you've always got number 2 on your side, and that's helpful.
Her hairband fell off of her braid, so a quick redo. She's at 21 kills, hitting .516.
Megan McClure, another block on the left side on Holly Carlton. Success, Thayer Hall, Paige Hammond. So when they can stay in system, pass the ball well, they have chances to score against the best team in the country. So there's definitely a lot of bright spots for Florida.
Right now, Stanford is on a 6-0 run.
Kill for Adriana Fitzmaurice. Point to
Morgan
Stanford.
Hens has been serving Stanford through this run. Swing by Paige Hammond, 7 in white. I like her platform. Her first contact really good, and then she's rewarded. Beautiful kill down the line, fast arm swing.
That ends the run by Stanford. Allie Gregory serving. McClure had to go down and get that one. Ooh, really tight. And it's a point for Stanford.
Megan McClure knew that ball was coming tight. Nobody on the Florida side of the net was ready for that.
Stanford substitution number 11. Kate Formico, she'll serve.
I think the ball did cross and go over the plane of the net.
I agree. I think it barely did, but Megan McClure waited for it.
So Marlene Ronsoret went to talk to the up official, who is Michelle Prater.
Mary Wise is saying that it was on the Florida side of the net, but let's watch this ball. It's dug tight to the net. Hitters are retreating to work for their approach. Oh, that ball was pretty darn close.
Yeah, I
Pretty
don't know
darn
if
close.
it did.
All right, Gator fans.
It's a big test, but I think it will teach this Florida team a lot. Teach them that they can score. They can hold their own with this Stanford team who's favored to win the NCAA title this season.
Yeah, the core group of this Stanford team has won 2 titles already, and they've come back stacked with even more talent. An ace.
Point Stanford.
Kate Formico comes up with an ace for Stanford. They've been heavy on the air side tonight for Stanford, but they're a very strong serving team overall.
Yeah, 8 service errors for Stanford. Just 2 aces now. It's an 8-2 run for Stanford, and they're trying to add to it, make it 9-2.
Back-to-back big serves by Kate Formico. Her cousin, Carrie Walsh-Jennings, a standout at Stanford as well.
Hammonds had to reach back and get that one. Monserrat to Kramer in the middle. Gates on the slide.
Gray Gates connection working a little bit better.
That's one of the areas of her game that Kevin Hambley was so excited to add to their arsenal, was her attacking on the slide.
That one missed long, but Stanford has a comfortable lead, up 20-14.
Just 5 points away from taking this match from Florida. Jenna Gray over on 2. 21-14 Stanford.
Smart player, that Jenna Gray is. She does that at the right time, but you have to credit Gregory for that first dig by Florida. It looked like the ball was for sure down. She keeps it alive for Florida.
Even when you think they're going to get blocked, they find some way to get the ball up. Hammonds takes a piece of a block.
That ball was set tight to the net, but Paige Hammonds is long, gets there, slices it through for the Florida point.
Monserrat gives it quickly to Kramer.
Madeline Gates, number 6. Off the slide, getting her offense going for Stanford. Number 15. She's a grad student in her first year on the Stanford Cardinal team.
We've seen her throughout this match. She's getting more comfortable. Her and Jenna Gray are connecting more. Remember, she doesn't have the benefit, like the other core players of this team, of having played together for 3 years.
This is true, and that's why there's a preseason and a season before that all-important postseason.
This Stanford team started the season #1 for a reason. They just keep adding more and more talent, and we haven't even seen Kendall Kipp in this game, who's a freshman for them, who's going to be really strong.
And we hear some great things. So she's a great addition to that talented bench.
Plummer, very sharp angle, it's wide.
Florida.
Jenna Gray getting aggressive.
Yeah, we've seen Jenna Gray get really aggressive, and I wonder if Alicia Glass-Childress, her new setting coach, is encouraging her to be a bigger offensive threat.
It's got to be a challenge to have 3 different voices throughout your career when it comes to your position.
It can be, but you can also take a nugget from each of them and just grow as a player, continue to learn and get better. I thought that ball hit the coffin corner. Kevin Hambley's thinking about challenging. I thought it hit corner.
He's got his hand close to the challenge card, will not pull the challenge card. That would be something. In or out is an area you can challenge.
I thought that dropped right in the corner.
Ooh, it's close. Stanford 2 points away from starting this season 3-0.
Adriana Fitzmaurice gets her 4th kill on what's been a quiet night for her, but Kevin Hambley raves about number 12. She can do it all. I've seen her dominate matches for Stanford and lead them in kills.
Well, this is match point here for the Stanford Cardinal. Monserrat calls on Carlton. Back to Carlton. Off the block. Still match point Stanford.
Holly Carlton has been the hot hitter all night long, keeps them alive.
Carlton with 10 kills to lead Florida, the only player in double digits. And the Gators will make it straight. They'll bring in Mia Sokolowski, number 9 in white. Second match point for Stanford. All 3 sets have been won by Stanford on a service error.
By Florida. Yeah, that's a rough way to lose this match.
Stanford comes in and gets its first ranked win of the season over number 7 Florida, a sweep in Gainesville by the defending national champions.
And Stanford finished strong. They hit 441 in the 3rd set, but Florida was